Welcome to the Electric Theatre.
Hey, dude.
What's going on?
Just virtual schooling, exercise, all the good things that, come with the first 4 hours of just being awake.
Virtual schooling. I haven't even heard that concept yet. I'm dealing with it, but I haven't heard it said like that. That makes me feel old and old and over it. Old and over it. Something.
Yeah. I can't tell you how much I agree with that.
Well, I saw, I don't spend a lot of time on this, on these conversations directly on what's happening in the world. But recently, I guess to do my part, I have seen several celebrities, speaking out on behalf of, more or less like, why aren't you, wearing a mask or these sort of things. And it's crazy when you think about there's these two sides of the story. It's my right, and then there's the knowledgeable side where it's like we're being told that we should have to do this because of the health risks, the knowledge of it, I guess is what I'm saying. So it's a strange world we live in, that idea of like, do I want to or do I not want to? It's and risking it. But I think a lot of people don't see it in front of them, so they don't understand what the risk is. I don't know. It's a crazy time.
That's exactly it. That's exactly it. Like people don't put it in perspective until it touches them, which tells me more about how people live their lives, really. You know what I'm saying? Like, to me, it's almost the death of a sort of overall empathy for people who are not you. You know what I'm saying? Like, there used to be kind of at least a reservoir of empathy for people who aren't you, people outside of your circle, people, that you've never met before, universal international empathy. And that has slowly eroded in our society for whatever reason, whether it's political or cynicism or just, people being affected by violence or people being affected by, events in their own lives. It seems like that has shrunk so much to the point where people would rather just be stubborn and stuck in their own ways than really think about the larger picture, the bigger picture.
Well, that's exactly it. And the only reason why I'm even bringing it up is because you throw out right from the beginning virtual schooling. So, for example, a lot of these people, they're dealing with virtual schooling, but still not admitting to the issue at hand.
Right.
Like they're literally on the phone trying to figure it out, but then outside in public just doing the opposite. So it's it's in front of us, whether you like it or not. Whether you can see it or not, it's in front of you. So it's a very strange thing that a lot of people don't see this, And that's what's disturbing to me is like it's almost been written that way that, just half the people are going to disappear. Zombie apocalypse. That's the real zombie apocalypse, man. Everybody wants to joke around, but when everybody's sick and there's only a few people that aren't, that's real zombie stuff.
Right. No, not only that, but that's like it's Contagion. It's Mad Max. I mean, it's it's a breakdown of the very thought of anything solid as far as like civilization goes, man. Society as a whole. I mean, it just it reeks of almost like that self-immolation.
Yeah, it's frightening. I mean, the last thing I want is to be in Waterworld like Kevin Costner flying across in some like weird vehicle and a bunch of crazy motherfuckers chasing me on jet skis.
Right. You'll be the one in the blimp too. Like you'll be the one with
100%.
With the balloon.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. 1,000%. All right. Well, anyway, we did our part, and that's that. And you're really busy, man. So that's why I wanted to get with you before you get too much busier, because when I talked to you last week, just briefly about this, there's so much I want to talk to you that's important. But you know me and how I scatter and how I can trail because of interest. You know, I trail because of interest. I'll just, you know, if I'm trailing, it's probably because I'm so interested that I'm in it. But that's hard for other people to navigate through. I know that.
But well, not only that, but you also have a tendency to follow a thought almost all the way to its natural end without a break. So you start and then you go and you take it all the way to the end. And then by the time you get to the end, sometimes we look back and we go, wait, what were we talking about? And then
what? What were we ordering for dinner?
Where were we at? Yeah.
So with that said, I just have a million things that I want to talk to you about. And, it's like, you work yourself up, and it's like, I'm not going to get it all out, but there's some things that I want to do today with you because it won't be the first time we talk. First of all, what I love about this is I don't think anybody really believes that we would do this to begin with.
No, absolutely not.
That's disheartening. You know what I mean? That bugs me a little bit that there may be people out there that may think, well, Clown won't talk to Corey, and blah, blah, blah. And, so one, that's very important to me to keep my communication with my friends and be able to just have a conversation because that's what this is about. But mainly what I want to do and accomplish is like, it dawned on me. So like I look for people that are like me in artistic ways to be able to explain myself better to the people that are involved with me around me. So it could be an agent, it could be a label, it could be people that work with myself on the road, it could be management, it could be my wife, it could be anybody that I'm just trying to like get them to understand me a little bit better in the art form. So what I want to talk about is this idea of Corey Taylor, who we all know is like, people probably don't know that, like, you're my favorite singer. So you're my favorite singer in my favorite band. They go hand in hand. Slipknot's my favorite band, always will be. It just is because it's more than a dream, and you're my favorite singer. So that confuses people, that you, a human, would go and do anything else artistic for yourself. Anything, whether it be this thing that I want to talk about today, which is called solo. And what I want to talk to you about is how important that word is for you, to you as a human. Not the singer of Slipknot, not the singer of Stone Sour, amongst a bunch of other stuff, from guest appearances to little fun side projects to little acoustic shows, all these personalities that are artistic from you. What I wanted to talk to you about and hand over to you here is why you feel you need, like, I don't want to talk about the money. I don't want to talk about the ratings, sales. I want to talk why you get up in the morning and feel you need to create more for yourself than the obvious to everyone else. Everyone else wants you potentially to stick on the thing that they deem most important to them. Okay, so whatever that is, it could be any one of the things you do they deem is the most important, so they don't want you to do anything else. What I want to know and what I want them to hear and what I want to talk about today, because we're all like this, is just why do you get up and feel you need to create other canvases?
That's a great question, by the way. Let me back up and chime in on something that you said, that people wouldn't believe that you and I would have this conversation, or we would even be a part of this. What people don't realize is that you and I probably have some of the best conversations that I've ever been a part of. Like, talking with you is one of my favorite things to do, whether it's on the road, in the studio, between albums, regardless of what it is and where we're at. Our conversations always stick with me because we talk about things that we don't necessarily get to talk with other people about. We have conversations that no one else would have. And that's why I love when you and I sit down and we talk about art, or we talk about movies, or we're just bullshitting, we're just, bouncing fun things off of each other. It's some of my favorite memories, and it's some of my favorite things that we've ever done. I don't know if I've ever told you that before, but I cherish those. And
well, thank you so much. I feel
you're welcome.
I feel the exact same way, because we have a real honesty and truth with our relationship and speaking, because if we don't, we're unable to talk about some of those surreal things that both of us are going through, or potentially getting ready to go through. And we're both fathers, Yeah. We're both husbands. We're both sons. We're both humans. We're both artists. And I hate that word, because people hear it and they get freaked out with it. So it bothers me. It's because
their definition sometimes doesn't line up with what art is supposed to be, and and there's a weird connotation to the word artist these days that has a negative aspect, and it's so wrong that that people would put themselves in a weird realm where they can't relate to art in this way now, so I totally get that. But you and I also have an eye for that stuff on different sides. Like, you have so many different canvases that you play with, and mine are kind of a reflection of those canvases, which is why you and I work so well together. Like, especially when we're creating music, but also when we're just talking. We can go places, and sometimes we understand our metaphors that we're throwing at each other even more than anybody else in the room sometimes, which is rad. It's one of the few times that my art mind has ever had, felt kinship with anybody else's art mind. You know what I'm saying?
I love that. I love that, because it's true, because I can remember and recall sort of like entering a room with many souls interacting. Right. And then maybe you walk in and, like, I'm getting grapes and you're pouring a tea, and we just hit that subject, and everyone else around us is just chatter, and they're not even honing in, and we contemplate this huge idea that has to take place, and then it's like you're onward and I go forth, and it's like the movie didn't even recognize it. It's a very special thing. You're right. I love it. I love it,
Exactly.
Most people would be a little lost if they got involved in most of it, I think, because we do just have that honesty to pick up on the weirdest. I tell people all the time, I have videotapes of these sorts of things throughout the years, of these sorts of strange things, conversations. And, I'll work on them. I'll treat them in video, and I'll get them right there, and I'll show them to a very selective people, someone who's editing, maybe another director. We'll be in a tight room, and I'll be like, okay, I'm going to show you this. And they'll be like, that is the most fucked up thing I've ever seen or heard. And I'm like, yep, it'll never see the daylight, because no one in this world would ever understand that. And I would fry. You know, they want me to burn virally. You know, they just turn it against me, and he said this, and blah, blah, blah. You know, whatever, okay? Whatever, everybody already, you know. So I appreciate that. I love that because we do. But so this being the same thing, this being that, what is this truth that you and I would even, because I want to know for me, because it's so important, because if I go onto the usual suspects right now, you know, whatever, I'm not going to rip on people because I'm trying to be soulless these days, you know, but all these bullshit internet things that want drama and just spread words and paraphrase and try to create subjects and clickbait and all this crap, you know, that's that. You know, that they want to do that, and that's why it's important to me for me to know these things, because I'm never going to get that from them, you know? I'm never going to get any truth from them because they skew it. So anyway, I guess back to point before I get lost is that
it's okay.
What is in you for all these paintbrushes?
So the solo thing, now, and mind you, this is something that I could have done years ago. I could have done at any other point, you know, but at the time it didn't make sense. You know, it didn't make sense to do something like that. Honestly, because I have Slipknot, I had Stone Sour for what it was worth, you know. To me, you know me, the only time I really like to put a focus on myself sometimes is when it's part of the collective, you know, when it's working on something as a group and working on something as a band and working on something that we're going to be able to hoist up and show to the world. For me, I was absolutely content with, you know, bouncing back and forth between Slipknot and Stone Sour. But for the last few years, I've recognized something in myself that really kind of like was just getting more and more important for me to show and share. And that was a certain type of music that, I mean, you've heard the album, that kind of all out rock and roll kind of positive. I don't even want to say positive because it's not the right word. It's like there's no real word for what I'm trying to say. So I'll just describe it like this major chord, big chorus kind of party vibe, for lack of a better term, you know? And I felt like I didn't have that in my life. It was a reflection of the music that I've been into for many years, a reflection of the music that I usually like to do in like the cover shows that I do here and there. It was a reflection of the songs that I've been writing over the years that didn't fit with either Slipknot or Stone Sour, you know? So it was weird. It was like I was trying to fill in an empty space in that artistic spot in my heart. And I knew that obviously there was no way I was going to fit with Slipknot because it's just such a different entity. You know, we play in different realms and our world is huge, but these songs just, they don't fit, you know, it's not the same kind of artistic flavor, you know. May have been able to do it with Stone Sour, but Stone Sour is so different than what it used to be that I had to, you know, just kind of create this third thing that, you know, for lack of a better term, had to be a solo thing. Because if I'd started a third band, it really wouldn't have made any sense, you know? It just made more sense for me, especially at this point in my life, to be like, okay, I've written all these songs. You know, I did this. The focus is going to be on me regardless, even if I put the band together and I, you know, do this thing from a band perspective. The focus is going to be on me. The production is going to come from my head. Artistically, these are the way the songs, I want to hear them done. And I just knew that all of the work was going to be on me anyway. So it was just a matter of, okay, well, if I'm going to carry the load, then it's just going to be my name. It's just going to be me. You know, I'll have friends come in and play with me, but for the most part, it's my project. It's me. It's what I need to do. And you know, the more I was thinking about it, the more I realized that my heart needed it. You know how when you and I are working on side, like pieces of music together that may or may not work with the knot sometimes, and they become other things that, you know, we really try to, you know, kind of put out into the world to make sure that, you know, they see the light of day because we want to share them with people. That's kind of what these songs were. You know, these songs were parts of me that I really wanted to share with the world and kind of show the world this other side of my writing style that I'd never been able to show before, you know? So I don't know if it was necessarily a need for me to kind of go out and be solo, but it was definitely one of those things where it was like, if I do this, I know I'm going to do all the work. I know it's, you know, I've already written all the songs. I know the focus is all going to be on me. There's no reason for me to start another band. You know, at this point, it's going to be the Corey Taylor Show regardless. So I might as well just kind of take the helm and embrace it. You know, it was really as simple as that. It really wasn't because I necessarily needed to be out front more, because I'm out front anyway, you know, with both bands. You know, I've got that and more. You know, I've done the work just as much as anybody else, and I was fine with it, you know. So it really kind of came down to the definition of what the project needed to be. Honestly, for it to be taken seriously. And it came down to just me embracing the fact that it was going to be a solo project.
Well, I feel that, and that brings me, that reminds me, I mean, you just said it, and it's kind of, I guess what I'm trying to translate to, like, our community. I don't really care about any other community. You know, I care about our community. You know, that's really what my focus is on. So I don't want to preach. I don't even want to try and come off like I'm trying to educate, because, you know, you get called out and blah, blah, blah. Right. I always want to do my part to try and shed light on stuff when it comes to, like, the sensation of art. And you just said it. So the very first time that the solo albums came out after, you know, after the Iowa cycle, I can remember being in Japan, and this is before I did To My Surprise, and somebody was talking to me, and I was doing an interview, and just to be totally honest, I wasn't hating or upset with anything. I just didn't want to hear it. I just didn't want to hear about you guys. You know, I was still focused in
You're talking
my
about
mind.
The first Stone Sour album and the Murder album.
Yes,
right.
First two of those. So I just didn't want to hear about it. I was working on myself, you know, like I just didn't. So I was doing this interview, and this Japanese woman was just drilling me about you guys.
Of course.
And my love for the Japanese culture and people is so high that I bit my tongue, and then finally I said, look, out of total respect, I go, I don't want to disrespect you here, but what is your deal? Why are you poking the bear? Why are you doing that? Why are you just deliberately sitting here trying to provoke me into some sort of feeling to say something I shouldn't say about my brothers? Like, I haven't even had time to digest anything, and you're coming at me. And this person was so upset that I felt that way, and explained it to me that they were asking, and they apologized about the translation, that it wasn't coming out correctly. What they were wanting to know is, the reason they were asking is because they want to know every last bit of you, because the last bit of you is what makes you in Slipknot to them. I was doing a Slipknot thing. So they were explaining to me, if we go out and respect Corey Taylor and, listen to his music, we get a better understanding who he is as a human being and what makes him tick. And if this gentleman's going to go out and write other music that's so separate than this music, there must be so much to this person that we must download in ourselves because we're so interested in this person. I was blown away that they could think that. I'm like, so you're not causing shit. You're not trying to get me to flip out. And they're like, no, we're so sorry. We would just always want to know everything, how you cook dinner, we want to know what the clown thinks about it, because that's important for your guys' relationship when you're not together and then you get back together and write an album. We want to know what makes the great band Slipknot. And I'm only saying that because that's what the context was. And that's what you said. You wanted everybody to see this other side of you. And I just think it's so crazy. I love that we got dedicated fans. I love it. I'm not going to trade it, but I get upset when the dedication is ignorant to understanding the belief and love for the human being. Let's not forget that this is just me talking, in order to be one person, you got to be the other person. Am I right?
Right, exactly. Yeah. I mean, it's so hard for people to understand that. And I've never understood why, I don't know whether or not it's because people just can't wrap their brains around the fact that people can be multifaceted. It's like people who expect an actor just to play the same role over and over and over again, in different, the whole point of being an actor is to expand and play different parts and be, in different worlds and whatnot. And to me, it's the same with music. It's music should be, something that, if you can paint with those different brushes, why not? It's sometimes one brush works for one person, but for some people, we just love to write. I know it's the same with you. The stuff that you write is, some of it's so different from Slipknot, but it all makes up the mind that is behind this, So it's, so to me,
we could, I arrogantly could prorate time and stats. I could say, hey guys, a normal record cycle is this. What do you expect a singer to do on the time off? Okay, you only wanted to write on this? Well, guess what? Everything will start failing. Everything will start being watered down. I could prorate all these ideas and explain it to people where they go, oh, so what you're saying is it's good to, when you're going to eat tuna, eat ginseng, and then eat salmon, and you can enjoy all of this. No one understands, this. But here's the thing. I have to say, I do appreciate the dedication of people that are hardcore, people that hold you to your words. For me, they're like, hey, I want to slit your throat and fuck the wound, and then if you go somewhere else and they'll be like, they're dedicated to one side or the other side, but they don't understand, they themselves are choosing Kraft macaroni or, refried beans. I don't know.
Right.
Everybody is being multifaceted all day, bouncing from the TV, bouncing from clothes, bouncing for everything. So it frustrates me that it's such a hard concept that talented people as yourself, singers, what? You're not supposed to write? You're not supposed to? You don't love all the bands you grew up with? You're never supposed to dedicate any sort of love to an artistic expression somewhere else? But, like I'm saying, I do love the dedication of people when they're like, nope, this is what I love and this is what I want and fuck everything else. I do admire that and love that. But at the same time, I just wish I think it's better for the community to understand that we're all trying to support each other on all endeavors. It's not just about you and everything you can do. It's about all of us. It's about the fans and us, and it's about everyone being allowed to be many different things. And I guess that's why I was so interested in sort of talking about this today. I know everybody's busy. I'm going to kind of jump around because that's what I do, and everyone's like, I'm just going to end that. Whoop, that's done.
Okay.
I'm going to flip you into another world here, just a complete other world that we share together.
Okay.
Movies.
Yes.
We're going to come back to the music, but I got to take a break for a minute and let my brain get with all that. Movies. Right. I don't know if a lot of people know just how crazy you are on movies, to the point where I can remember you going into Best Buy and spending $10,000 and having several people push carts of DVDs and Blu-ray and just like complete madness of movies. Yeah. And you watch it. You watch them all numerous of times. People probably don't know that you'll get stuck on a movie and probably watch that movie over and over again for a whole week until you've kind of gotten that feeling out of your head.
Right.
So I have a question. Last time we talked, you made it pretty personal, and I was like, okay, I'm going to get on this one again because I don't understand this one, and maybe it's changed. It could very well have changed since the last time we spoke about this, but I'm betting it probably did not. Now, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, have you seen it yet or not?
No, absolutely not.
Okay. Do you want to elaborate on, do you want to help me understand? And then I'm going to do my best to convince you why you need to watch it. And then the next time we talk, whenever it is, we're not allowed to talk about this until we talk on the phone again. It could be 2 years from now. Then we'll talk about it.
Right.
But do you want to elaborate on why you're not watching this 9th film of Mr. Quentin Tarantino, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood?
It's the same reason that I have such a hard time with Inglourious Basterds, is because I don't like movies that rewrite history, especially with something as gnarly as the Sharon Tate murders. I just think I have numerous issues with that movie. I don't like the way they portrayed Bruce Lee. I don't like what they did with the Sharon Tate murders. I don't know what kind of weird reimagining goes on with that. I've heard it's a brilliant movie, and I love Quentin Tarantino. I really do. I mean, I'm one of his biggest fans. As soon as The Hateful Eight came out, man, I was the first one in line, and I went, specifically to see the 3-hour version, and to this day, I love that movie, but I don't like movies that rewrite history, especially for something that is such a, adding a happy ending to something like that. I don't get it. I don't know why. It's just, to me, it doesn't make any sense.
Is it principle or taste?
That's,
because
I'd have to say principle.
Okay, so it is that hardcore with you. It's freaking hardcore. So
it's the same reason I've never seen Titanic. You know me. As soon as they said, by this certain year there will be, everyone on this planet will have seen Titanic, and I said that sounds like a challenge, and I am so into a challenge like that. So to this day, I've never seen that movie, and I'm honestly, if I never see it, I'll be fine with it.
Wow. So I've only seen bits and I'm not going to watch some horse shit like that either. I'm just not going to.
Oh, it's ridiculous. Right.
Do I respect it? Of course. Directing, filming, acting, big oceans, blah, 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 big ships, okay, whatever. But no, I'm not going to watch it either. I've seen parts of it and went, no, thank you. But this amazes me because what I want to say is this. One thing that I love about Quentin a lot for me is that the buried intellectual property. Okay, what's going on under the surface? So the surface, everyone's like, oh God, like for example, in Pulp Fiction, for me, everyone talks about the GIMP, right?
Right.
The GIMP, the GIMP, the GIMP, the GIMP, the GIMP, the GIMP. Well, the GIMP gets out of the box and gets socked up by Bruce Willis, and his ass is down. The GIMP does nothing. He gets out, he makes a couple goofy noises, boom, lights out. Big, scary GIMP, out, cold. But on the surface, everyone's like, that's the scariest thing ever. Well, guess what? The scariest thing gets knocked the fuck out. So that's what I'm saying is like this movie, the surface is the surface. It's the rewriting, as you say, or, but the intellectual property that is buried under these subjects is, geniusly executed. I mean, it's beyond. I watch it at least once a night and have for the whole pandemic. I watch this movie in great lengths, parts of it every night, because it's just so much buried thought under what is at the surface. And that's why I thought maybe you would give it a chance to see if any of that under the surface stuff would make you go, oh, what if his principles are your principles with it, is what I'm saying. Right. And the intellectual property proves that.
Look, it looks rad, and, everybody's told me that it's rad. I'll offer you a caveat, okay? Are you ready for this? You told me how long ago to watch a certain TV show. And I was like, yeah, whatever. And I didn't even really want to give it the time of day because everyone talked it up. And I still hadn't until about, a week ago. And when my wife had the same reaction that you did when I told her that I had never seen a certain TV show. And she was like, no, this is not going to stand. She's like, you need to sit down and watch this thing. So I finally sat down and started watching Breaking Bad. And because I'd never watched it. Everybody talked it out. And you know me, I'm the kind of person that if everyone is talking about it, I'm not interested. Like, I don't know what it is with my brain that is just so put off by what everyone else is talking about. And I know it's the same way with you because you waited a long time to watch it and you actually download the whole thing in like a big swoop, right? And I guess that's the same way that I am. Like, everybody was talking it up and I just didn't want to hear about it from Adam. And as soon as I watched, so now I'm 4 episodes in and I'm losing my mind. It's ridiculously good, and
it will change your life. It will change your life.
I'm watching it, and I'm absorbing it, and I'm just from the first 2 episodes, I'm already emotionally involved in it, and I'm just like, oh, this is, God damn it! I didn't want to be wrong about it, but I am so into it that and it's hard for me to admit to the wife too, because she's looking at me, she's going, huh? See, I told you. And I'm like, oh, I knew you were right.
Well, a lot of people, they were on me about it, right? And I was like, first of all, I live in Iowa where there's a huge meth problem.
Right,
okay?
right.
Why would I ever want to watch a bunch of fucked up people? And people are like, bro, it's so beyond that. And I'm just like, I don't know how it can be beyond that drug. I don't understand how it can be beyond that. But the minute I was introduced to the character Walt, I was like, I was pretty much in tears, man. Like with with I'm like, this is everybody, man. This is how it goes down. You dedicate your life,
right,
and then rip. It's just the fucking carpet's taken from you, and I can't even talk about it, man, because you're only 4 episodes in. You don't even know.
Yeah.
Here's the deal.
I know.
We Are Not Your Kind, or excuse me, Point 5, the great chapter.
Yeah.
I am the last one in Los Angeles tightening up some BS for the album. My wife and I are at the Sunset Marquee. I'm at the head of the bed, sitting up straight in the solid dark, and I've watched, I'm on the very last episode, and I've watched 7. It's some weird hour. It gets done. I'm so emotionally fucked up from it. I look at my wife and I'm like, do you know what that was? And she's like, what? I was like, that was I don't know exactly how much it is, but I'm like, that's a 57-hour movie. I'm that's how you make art, and that's how you get your point across. That's how you get all the ideas out of your head. If you're a vomiter, that's how you do it. And Walt and Jesse and all the characters, Hank, all of them, it just like TV shows and great movies, such a great cast. And they just, you're going to love it, bro. I can't talk about it because you've only begun and you're not even going to believe the ride.
And the journey itself is already so just crazy, dude. I'm like, oh, God.
So, that's good. That's good. Then maybe what I want to tell you is I definitely need you to contemplate watching Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, because there is some. I mean, listen. I got to be honest. I've watched it with altered state minds. Just I don't know how to explain that to people other than that. Everybody can just maybe a glass of wine, or something. But I've gone so deep in the movie. I don't even know how you write like that. I don't even know. It's so deep and it's all buried. It's so under the surface. And Brad Pitt, man, forget about it. Just forget about it. Just another. He's becoming sort of like Tom Cruise for me, where it's I would get so. And this goes back to your solo stuff that I wanted to say, and why also I brought up the movie. I would get so pissed off that Tom Cruise would do everything. Okay? I'm just why does this guy get to do every single big movie? But when War of the Worlds came out, and I was like, come on, they couldn't get somebody else? He gets to do War of the Worlds? I'll tell you. He's a great actor. He can be anybody. He can be this person. He can be a vampire. He can be just a normal mechanic dad who loves his children and helps save the world, whatever. So Brad Pitt in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is I don't know where he's even at in the acting. It's he's not even him. He's that person. So it's and when you say the Bruce Lee thing, when you understand Brad Pitt's character and you are a Bruce Lee fan and you watch what happens, it's so brilliant, man. It's just so. I am a huge Bruce Lee fan. Huge.
Same.
One of my best friends' dad went to the funeral. I mean, so I get it. But anyway, I'm talking a lot like always. I apologize, everyone.
Dude, that's what we do. No, it's what we do.
I know, but I got to slow the motor
what
down.
People are hearing, dude, what people are hearing is a bus ride.
Yeah.
You realize that? Nobody's ever heard of a bus ride.
Well, I just hit a ditch. I just hit a ditch. And I hurt my thumb. And you're like, dude, I told you to fucking slow down. I'm like, hey, today's been an off day for me, man, because I'm working on what's the word? I'm working on self-awareness. So
gotcha.
I have a new house, and I live out by the lake, and so I can get to the lake and houseboat quicker and ski and do all that fishing stuff. And there's been a lot next to my house that hasn't been built on it, and I have a big garden I've been doing for the last 4 or 5 months. And I've been putting my art in gardening. So last night I ate a watermelon that I grew, and I'll tell you, I've never even examined a fucking watermelon, and they are some of the most beautiful printed sort of plant ever. I can't believe it. They're like giant stretch marks on a plant. Just absolutely beautiful. I say that because humans are like, I can't handle this. Go look at the fucking watermelon. Look at the watermelon. It's fucking beautiful. It stretches these colors to get big quick. So anyway, I'm working on self-awareness because I got some company that was hired to make their living cutting down, 35-year-old trees that were here this morning and are chipper shredded now, and I'm mad, man. I'm just upset because these trees are screaming. I know that sounds crazy, but they're just, birds are like, what the fuck? I just got relocated, now I can see houses down the street, so I'm probably going to move. I'm just saying, I'm working on self-awareness, like settle down, get out of the ditch, slow the motor down, clown. But so be it. Have your house. I'm going to put mine up for sale. All right. I know you're busy. I want to talk about your album real quick. You gave me a copy of the album a long time ago, at least, I want to say a month or two ago. I got it. I waited 2 days. I woke up. I did my ritual. I listened to it from beginning to end. I listened to several songs a couple times. Right. Congratulations again on just, a body of work, getting it out of your subconscious, bringing it into your consciousness and making it tangible for other humans is such a feat. It's so hard to do, and they don't understand that you have to wear things on your shoulder like the Corey Taylor Show, meaning this. Your intentions might be one thing, but the world tries to dictate another, so you might have to take a deep breath and roll down a road you don't even necessarily want to, because it's just that way. And that proves like we're getting older and wiser because some of these things we can stomach, I could never stomach those 20 years ago. Now I'm kind of getting older. I'm like, whatever, just don't call me. Just text me the problem and don't call until next week, But congratulations. Yeah, what do you think my favorite song is? If I have one in the album. I got a couple that I listen to a lot. Two of them.
Okay. I want to say one is Silverfish.
Okay.
Maybe. You're so hard to read though because you're into so many different things. Man, I don't know. Maybe Kansas. Well, Kansas might be one. I don't know.
Kansas is great. Kansas is awesome, and so is Silverfish. You would guess that Silverfish would probably be my first take, but the thing is I'm sort of used to that demeanor with you. Like if I if I was with you and if we were in a studio doing Slipknot songs and you were on the piano just doing your thing, I'd come in and sit down. I'd be like, "What are you doing?" You'd be like, "I don't know, just something I'm working on." That would kind of remind me of like Silverfish. It's a demeanor that I've been around a lot, and I know it. It doesn't. I love it. It cuts deep, but it doesn't surprise me because I have acquired it quite a bit, unlike the world. So here's my two.
Exactly. Okay.
Samantha's Gone is my favorite.
That makes me so fucking happy.
It's great.
God.
It's a great. It reminds me of like, honestly, it's like. It reminds me of just everything I grew up with, and it's also like a cross between that new sound of things that we like when we're out in the circuit at festivals. There's obviously other bands that are pop or alternative that play other days. It reminds me of music that we're surrounded by as far as like tone and production, but it reminds me of songwriting from yesteryear. So it's got like the best of the new and the old, and it's super. I find myself humming it over and over, and that's how I always know what I love is like if I just innately am like, and Samantha's going, you know, I'm like, well, here we go. All day. Thanks a lot, Taylor. You know? So, and then the other one is Everybody Dies on My Birthday.
Really? That's interesting. But you know what? When you say it, though, I get it. I totally get it. Do
you know why?
You know, that's a song. I feel like it would remind you of some of the bands that we used to listen to in the 90s, early 90s. Yeah,
but
absolutely.
I got a big one for you. I got a huge one for you that really does it.
What?
It reminds me of, and I'm dropping names because normally, you know, when I have my not head on, everyone can go fuck themselves.
Right, exactly.
This is fun for me because I can have a conversation. It bums me out because I got to let everybody know a little bit more about me, and that fucks me up. You know, that I'm like giving myself. I get off the phone, I got to go straight outside into the garden and not think about this conversation. Otherwise, I'll go crazy. But the reason why I love that song is it reminds me of a modern day Tom Petty.
Really?
It reminds me of
God, I love that.
Like just straight what's the one song? Heading
Running Down a Dream.
Yeah, thank you. It's like. Okay. I'm not trying to like make comparisons. I'm just telling you how my brain works. Like you got that, you know, you got this beat that's driving on that song. It's like Ford, you know, and it's good rock, boom, boom, boom. Everybody dies on my birthday, you know, boom. So it's like, it's kind of like that for me. So I really enjoy those tunes. I enjoy the whole album. I knew I could have bet $1 million that, what is it? What's the name of the video? The first video,
CMFT Must Be Stopped.
Must Be Stopped. Yeah, I could have bet $1 million that was going to be the video and like the song or whatever. But I think that's built into us. Like,
yeah. Well, and you know what? I mean, it's honestly, I didn't even plan on doing that. The record label was that they were the ones that were like, we need to do this as well. Because for me, I wanted to put out Black Eyes Blue, and that was it. But they were like, yeah, that's the obvious choice, but we want to do CMFT as well. It was honestly like it was kind of like a meeting of the minds, going, okay, let's do both and see what happens. So yeah, it's kind of crazy.
Well, I also, you know, the video's awesome. You know, just everything you're doing. I love watching my friends, you know, just be art. It's a lot of people freak out, man. You know, the people in our world, we're going to leave them anonymous. So I won't bust them out. Okay.
Right.
The immediate people that love us and care about us and work hard, they do stay up at night wondering how they're going to tell me things and how they're going to tell you things. So, you know, we get home from touring. We got a couple tours scheduled. Pandemic starts. Got to fucking cancel tours. Corey Taylor writes a couple solo albums and just puts them out. People are going to worry about calling me up when I'm in the garden going, by the way, your brother's putting out this. So they've been known to lose sleep on it, you know, and I think you know, people need to know, like, I wake up and yes, we all have ego we have to work on, you know, I'm always going to be the clown in the band Slipknot. You know, you're always going to be Corey Taylor, the big fucking mouth in Slipknot, you know.
Right. Exactly.
I don't ever look at this shit as anything else. I wake up and go, look at my brother talking. Like, here's his other voice. What's he doing? What's up with that jacket he's wearing in the fucking video? What's the purpose of that? Does he secretly love that jacket, or does it mean something, or is one of his favorite singers ever wear one? Like, I love art, and I like to think, and I like to be challenged, and I don't get as mad as people really want to think, you know? I mean, if anything, to be honest, as a human, I like to jam with you, and I like to make art with you. So when you're not making art with me, you know, there's not jealousy, but there's definitely like, you know, I want to play, you know?
Right.
So,
yeah.
But that's good because then we get together and then that tension hits. And
exactly.
God, I love it. So, man, just proud of you. if that,
thanks, man.
It's so cool. Us guys just kicking it, man, and just constantly putting out the art in all ways, man, in all ways, including creating children. People forget this. We're dads, man. You know, you have several children, and try creating a solo album, you know, in their mind when you have children and things. You know, it's a big thing. So, man, it's awesome what you're doing.
All right, thanks, man. I appreciate it. I'm glad we got to talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, real quick before you go, because I know you're busy, man. I mean, what are your plans? I mean, my show isn't about like getting the news, but like I'm interested. Like, what are your plans? And there's no agenda here or anything. I've seen the videos, I've heard the album. You've told me some of the things. Of course, the people that are involved with us, business-wise, has told me things or whatever. But what are you trying to get out of this for you, man, to feel good? What are you looking at?
I mean, just basically, you know, just having fun. You know, like you know, sometimes you just need to get out and just have fun. You know, like kind of leave the art mind behind sometimes and just let go of it. You know, so I mean, that to me, that's really just the ultimate goal, is to just kind of celebrate the fact that, you know, after over 20 years, we still get to do it, you know? So that's what's, you know, that's really my ultimate goal, is to just kind of be able to do that and take it out and share it with the people, you know, basically kind of hop back and forth between Slipknot, the spectacle, and the you know, the darkness of that, and then the richness of whatever I'm doing with the solo thing, you know?
Well, that's good, man. Fun is so important, man. I mean, you know, people probably don't think we have fun, you know, and
exactly.
We have fun in the spectacle and we have fun in the fun. I mean, we're just, you know, it's such an important thing for our darkness, I think, is to try and even sometimes force a little. You know me, my family around me, they're like, lighten up, Francis. You know, like they're just like,
yeah, exactly.
They're on my ass all day, man. Like big bad clown. You know, I'm just like huffing and puffing all the time. Listen. Lastly, speaking of fun, so I wanted to end with this. So I got this show, Electric Theater, and I'm trying to have some fun. So what I did was I came up with this new thing that I thought that I've always wanted to like make videos about our two songs that I grew up on that I love. That sure, maybe they gave me a video, but like I want to portray what I think, what it does to me in my head. So it starts with like doing the cover, you know. So anyway, I did a cover recently, and me and myself and Tortilla Man, we're working on some music and getting some drums and stuff done, but we changed gears, and I got one of my favorite songs that I'll tell you in a second. But when I threw it out to some people, they asked if you were going to sing on it just blindly, and I was like, well, that's interesting. You know, they were like, I thought that was interesting because I'm like, well, Taylor has all his stuff going on. Why would you think that I would just impose and get in there and try to get him to whatever? They're like, no, it'd just be perfect for the song. So anyway, I'm going to send it to you, Tate, because it's for the Electric Theater. I just want to give people like an insight of like some music that I like and just redo it and have some fun with it. But the first song I'm doing is Steely Dan, Do It Again. So I'm going to send it over to you. And if you like it and it's your thing and you feel the groove that we did, because we did a Tortilla Man clown thing to it, and a lot of people probably don't know the writing that me and that gentleman do. So we put our specialty on it. But I'm going to send it to you, and if you like it, maybe the ET crowd can hear it, because that's where it's going to go. I'm just going to take these covers I do and put it up for their listening pleasure as well, to create other fun stuff. But and if you don't like it, you don't like it. No. There will be no hard feelings.
Please do, man. Send it to me. I'd love to hear it. I'm into it.
And it's supposed to be all punk rock too, so you can get it. It's just going to be the music, and if you feel you can sing to it, you go for it.
All right.
I think I'm fucking with you. You know, of course you can sing to it.
Yeah, I know.
That's why everybody's on me about it, and I was like, come on, he's going to think that I'm trying to get in and make things pressure and this and that, but they're just like, no, and we do songs together. A lot of people don't know that, too. That's another conversation.
We do stuff all the time, exactly.
Remember Be With You? That's what we call it. Yeah. Still one of my all-time raw demos.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
We did that during the Iowa cycle.
Yeah, we did a bunch of stuff, man. What about
Logged 'em?
Was that the one with the foot on the Bible? I can't remember.
No, that was. I think you called it that. 1 Foot on the Bible.
Yeah, that's it. 1 Foot on the Bible. That's right.
That one's awesome. That would flip people out.
That tune was full on. Like go for it. Like it was dope as hell.
I'm gonna find that. And
Somebody's got it, man.
Yeah, it's not. Well, Craig's got it. You know, Craig's got it. But trying to get a hold of Craig is like trying to go out in outer space.
Trying to get Craig to do anything is like trying to do math on an almond. You know? Like
I don't even know where he lives.
Happen.
Yeah, I don't even know. I have his phone number. He doesn't tell us.
He didn't tell us anything.
Do you see those little videos people put up of Craig? Like, Craig, it's just like the funniest shit in the world. I laugh for hours when they give him the pressure. They're like, Craig, bust a move, and he's like doing a dance. And he's like, I'm not going to take you anywhere. Like that shit is so funny. I mean, it's actually closer to Craig than they'd ever know, I think.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, it's just so stupid.
Anyway. All right, Craig. We need Craig, if you're listening, 133. We need 1 Foot on the Bible for the ET.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, hey, how's the family?
They're good, man. You know, we're just, we do our thing. I haven't seen Griff in a few months because of the quarantine, but I'm hoping I get to see him soon. I got to see him like right before everything locked down, which was good. So I got to spend at least a month and a half with him. But hopefully I get to see him soon. But, Ryan's good. Alicia's good. We're all just kind of, doing our thing and just, hopping back and forth on 2 feet. You know how it is.
Staying busy.
Yeah, basically. That's basically it.
That's what everybody needs to do somehow, some way. Stay busy with the family. Stay busy with a book. Just
right.
For me, man, I got to stay off the news because it's everybody talking over everybody, and I just I want to be informed and I want to learn, but man, everybody's right because everybody's wrong. I'm so tired of it. It's like all you motherfuckers need to realize you're human. We're all human. We're in this together, so not everybody can be wrong to make everybody right. Let's figure this out. So.
Right, exactly.
I'm just trying to, on a different note, this is what I've been doing. I'm relocating raccoons because they eat my tomatoes. So in less than today is the 7th day that it's the 10th day that I've been relocating raccoons. How many raccoons do you think I've relocated living out by Saylorville Lake? In the country, on the Federal Reserve land. How many raccoons do you think I've relocated in 10 days?
Oh. I'd say probably
19.
I was going to say 20. I was going to say 20.
19.
But that's okay, good.
Well, we had 19, 2 possums, and 1 casualty not caused by myself or anything, by a male raccoon that got on a little family and, whatever. But you know me, I love animals. I love stuff. I take them way, way out. where they have plenty of water and all that stuff. But I thought I was getting into maybe a family of 3 or something. I mean, it's getting to be they just destroy my garden, man. They just, I worked so hard for these tomatoes, and like these dudes are like, yeah, we want an appetizer, and the shit's laying. Yeah. They eat half of it and throw it around. It's like a joke on me. So we have a little classified program called the 141 Project, and they get relocated off the Highway 141. So anyway,
there you go.
Well, man, I love you, man, and
love you too,
tell the family I said hi, and keep your head up, and proud of you with this solo stuff and music in general, and just your friends you're jamming with. Tell everybody I said hi. Keep it up. Let me know. I'm around, and yeah, man, just be safe out there, and hopefully I'll be going to LA soon and stop in Vegas, and
yeah,
we'll
man, I want to hang. So
yeah, for sure,
when you get close, just let me know. Okay.
Absolutely, and we got to get those.
All right, man.
Yeah, I can't wait till Vended gets back together and we can see each other on one of those shows too, man. Because that's just a lot of fun, you know. Because
that's awesome.
Yeah, it's just fun. So, all right, man. Tell everybody I said hi. Like I said, man, awesome.
All right, thanks, brother, and the same to the family. Okay, tell everybody.
I will, man. I told them all today that I was talking to you, and they were really happy. You know, again,
awesome.
I just don't think people would ever think we talk. It's like.
No,
I don't know.
They think
weird.
They think we retreat back to our caves and just kind of scratch the walls and talk to ourselves. I don't get it.
I have ravens. I send ravens with notes. That's the real truth, people.
Yeah.
All right, brother. Give everybody my love. I'll see you soon.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.